Okay, in this YouTube video, we're going to be reviewing for your Chapter 2 test. So let's take a look. This first question says, what is 2.6% written as a decimal? To do that, we're just going to take this decimal and go 1, 2. So it's going to turn into 0.026. So your answer is A. This one right here, the library surveyed 240 people about their favorite type of movie. If 15% of the people chose them, how many would people choose? So we have 240 and 15%. And what we're going to do is we're going to multiply that together. So we have 240. And remember, we can't multiply by the percent. We have to multiply by the decimal. So we're going to put our decimal and go 1, 2. So we're going to do 240 times 0.15. And now we're just going to multiply it like normal. So 0 times 5 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. 2 times 5 is 10 plus 2 is 12. So we're done with that guy. Now we're going to the second row. So we add our 0. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. And 1 times 2 is 2. Now we're going to add them all together. Okay, and that's not our final answer because there's 2 decimal places up there. So 1, 2. So our decimal goes in right behind the 36. So we get G. At any time, if you need to stop and pause, make sure you're doing that so you can work it out yourself. The original price of a jacket is $68. The sale price is 30% off the original price. What? Okay, so let's look at this again. Sorry, I had to stop it. The original price of the jacket is $68. The sale price is $30% off the original price. What is the amount off the original price? So we're going to take this guy right here and this guy and multiply them together. But we can't leave it as a percent. So to change it from a percent to a decimal, we need to put our decimal and go 1, 2. So we have 68. Instead of writing 0.30, I'm going to take that 0 off because it's the same thing. So I'm going to multiply it by 0.3. 8 times 3 is 24. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 2 is 20. There's 1 decimal spot. So here's 1. We put it in. Now, if we're dealing with money, we're just not going to say 0.4 because the 4 represents it's going to be 40 cents. So we're going to add a 0 on to the end. So we get 20.40. So our answer is A. Now let's look at our next one. Which of the following orders 2/3, 25%, 3/5, and 0.40 from least to greatest? Now to do this, we need to change them to all the same type of thing. So I'm going to do decimals. So this one's good. This one's going to change to 0.25. To change 3/5 into a decimal, I'm going to need a place value number. So I have 3 over 5. To get a place value number, I'm going to multiply by 2 because it's 10. 3 times 2 is 6. To write that as a decimal, 0.6. Okay, and then we have 2/3. I cannot make the 3 into a place value number, so I'm going to divide. And once you divide it, you're going to see that you're going to get 0.666 forever and ever. So 0.66 repeating. It's a repeating decimal. And I'm going to use a bar notation to show that. So now we need to write them from least to greatest. So we have 0.25. That's going to be the smallest. So we're looking for 25% first. And if you do that, guess what? There's only one that has that in the beginning. So G is our answer right there. Okay, our next one, we're going to write this as a mixed number. It has a whole number, so 15.08. Remember, whole number comes straight down. Then we have 8. Okay, so we bring 15 down, and then we're going to look at place value that 8's in. The 8 is in the hundreds, so we're going to write 8 over 100. And now we can't keep it like that because we can simplify. So we're going to figure out a number we can simplify by, and that is 4. You could have chosen a 2, but you'll have to do a 2 again. So 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 100 divided by 4 is 25. And remember that 15 is going to go right in front of it. So we have 15 and 2 25ths, so our answer is C. Take a look at our next one. Trey has answered 15 emails. This is 20% of emails he must answer. How many emails does he need to answer? Okay, so we have 20 over 100, because that's how you write a percent as a fraction. Then he answered 15, and we want to find out how many more he needs to answer. But I can't get to 20 to 15 in one step, so I'm going to have to first simplify this down and then multiply. So I'm going to simplify this by 4. Because when I do that, I get 5 over 25, and I can change 5 into 15. So 5 times 3 is 15, and then 25 times 3 is 75. If you're having a hard time figuring out what to do on this first step right there, you need to be writing out the factors of what goes both into 20 and 100. Just like you had to do in Chapter 1. So if you need to look back in your Chapter 1 notes and look at scaling, please do that. Okay, a basketball player made 40% of the shots she attempted. If she made 32 baskets, how many shots did she attempt? So 40%, we're going to write 40 over 100. She made 32, and we want to know how many she shot. So to do that, we can't change 40 into 32, so first we have to simplify. I'm going to simplify by 10 on this one, and I'm going to get 4 over 10. Because I know 4 times 8 is 32, and 10 times 8 is 80. So she attempted 80, but only made 32 shots. So she only made 40%. The next one, what is 3 and 9/20 written as a decimal? So remember, whole number comes straight down. Now, 9/20. We're going to make this bottom guy right here, that 20, into a place value number. To do that, I'm going to multiply by 5, because that will get us 100 on the bottom. And then 9 times 5 is 45. So 3, so that's our whole number, 0.45 is our answer. Let's look at this next one. Which is the best estimate of each percent? So 32%, 30% looks pretty good with that. And so we're going to write 30 over 100 because that's how you write a percent as a fraction. 19, we're going to change to 20. 20 is a lot easier to work with. Okay, so you can either choose just to multiply straight across like how it is, or you can cross cancel. I'm going to show you how to cross cancel. 20 goes into 20 one time. 20 goes into 100 5 times. So when we multiply across, we get 30 times 1 is 30. And 5 times 1 is 5. Now 30 divided by 5 equals 6. So 6 is our answer. Remember, when we're estimating, we're not finding the real one. We're just looking for numbers that are easier to work with. Okay, let's look back here. Which is the best estimate? So again, we're estimating of each percent. I'm going to change 48 into 50 over 100. And then 199, I'm going to change to 200. I'm going to cross cancel because that has 2 zeros. This has 2 zeros. So 50 times 2 is 100, which is I. Elsa got an 86% on her first science test. A 47 out of 50. I'm going to go ahead and circle those over and go through. A 47 out of 50 on her second, and a 0.89 on her third test, which is the following orders her scores from least to greatest. So let's change them all to percent since tests are a percent. So she got an 86. 47 over 50. We're going to change that to have 100 on the bottom because percents are of 100, so we're going to multiply by 2. 7 times 2 is 14. 8, 9. So she got a 94%. And then in 1, 2, 89%. So she wants it from least to greatest. So the 86 comes first. So we can already cross out B and D. And then this one. So we get C. Look, we didn't even have to solve it. If you would have looked down here, they already had it all solved for you. Cedric can swim a lap in 23 3/5 seconds. Jason can swim a lap in 21.4 seconds. How much faster can Jason swim than Cedric? So we have to do two things here. First, we have to change them both into either decimals or fractions to figure this out. So then we can subtract. Okay. I'm going to choose to do fractions. So get them. We have 23 and 3/5 and 21.4. So to write 21.4 as a fraction, we have 21 and then 4 over 10. Now, to change this, that 5 to have the same number, we're going to multiply it by 2. So it comes to 23 and 6/10. So now we're just going to subtract those. Since we have the same denominator, we're going to write that down. 6 minus 4 is 2. And then we have 23 minus 21 is 2. So we have 2 and 2/10. But if you look up here, it's all decimal answers. So to change this over, we write 2.2 because that's 2.2. So our answer is H. What is 7.5%? Written as a fraction in the simplest form. So first we have to get rid of that little percent sign. So we're going to go 1, 2. So 0.075. And now we're going to write that as a fraction. This 5 is in the thousandths place, so 75 over 1,000. And remember, it's its simplest form. So I'm going to start by dividing by 25. 75 divided by 25 is 3. And 1,000 divided by 25 is 40. So our answer is D. Let's look at our next one. We're going to write this as a decimal, so we go 1, 2. So 0.0015, and it is G. What is 345 as a percent? So we have 345. No, I don't want to do that. Our decimal goes there, we go 1, 2. So 345, then you add your 2 zeros into your percent sign. So 34,500%. Air contains several gases in addition to oxygen. Argon makes up 0.0093 of air. How is this written as a percent? So we go 1, 2. So 0.93%. Your answer is G. We're going to find the percent of each number. So we have 20% of 140%. We'll make this into a decimal. So it's 0.20. We're just going to take that 0 off. We're going to multiply by 0.2. 0, 8, 2, 1 decimal place, so our answer is 28. And if you notice right here, there's not a multiple choice section, just like your test, there won't be a multiple choice section. Okay, again, we're going to go 1, 2, so that's 0.60. We're going to drop the 0, 0, 30, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 1 decimal spot there, so 1 here. Our answer is 150. I only have about 1.5 minutes left on this one, so it's probably going to be a 2-part one, so don't freak out when the video ends and we're not done. Write each fraction as a percent. We'll multiply by 2 because percents are out of 100. 7 times 2 is 14. 6, 7. So 74%. Again, we're going to write it as a percent. I need to make the bottom number into 100. To do that, I'm going to multiply by 4 because 25 times 4 is 100. 3 times 4 is 12. So 12% is our answer. On this one, you can see I bolded it. Write each percent as a decimal and a fraction. So I'm going to put a D and an F. For this, I go 1, 2. So our decimal is 1.85. If I have a whole number in my decimal, I'm going to have a whole number in my fraction. So I'm going to start with putting my 1 there. And then I have 85 over 100. And it tells me I have to have it in simplest form. So I'm going to divide by 5. I'm going to get 17 over 20. So I'm just going to move that right on over. And I get 1 and 17 over 20. Okay, I'm going to stop it right here. And then on the next video, it's going to go over the rest of them.